In many countries around the world, the role of women combines both responsibilities outside the home and within the family. These burdens vary, influenced by factors like economic poverty and social roles. In this video, I'll explore which countries have women facing particularly heavy workloads. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Eagle Discovery channel. India, traditional gender roles and hard labor. In rural India, women are burdened with both household chores and farm work, driven by deeply ingrained patriarchal traditions. They begin their days early, working in the fields to plant crops and raise livestock, only to return home for cooking, cleaning, and childcare. The lack of social support systems, modern technology, and basic amenities like clean water and electricity makes their tasks even more challenging. The harsh conditions during harvest season, combined with limited access to education and employment opportunities, prevent many women from seeking external help. As a result, these women endure physical and emotional strain, shouldering immense responsibilities without adequate recognition or support. Hey there, where are you from? I want to know which city you're watching our video from. Please leave a comment so we don't feel lonely. A small action like this will motivate us to make more videos. Thank you and much love to you. Nepal, struggling with patriarchy and economic hardship. In Nepal, especially in rural communities, women continue to experience the harsh realities of living in a deeply patriarchal society. With a significant number of men leaving the country in search of work opportunities abroad, women are left to manage both the household and agricultural duties. They work tirelessly on farms, where they tend to crops, care for livestock, and handle all the harvesting activities. Afterward, they return to their homes to perform household chores, including cooking, cleaning, and taking care of children. This dual role of farm laborer and homemaker often leaves rural women with little to no personal time. Moreover, in many households, there are elderly members who require constant care, adding yet another layer of responsibility. Despite their crucial role in sustaining both the family and the economy, women in Nepal often lack access to opportunities for education, healthcare, or financial independence. Societal norms that emphasize women's duties within the home further limit their social mobility, leaving them trapped in a cycle of overwork and underappreciation. As a result, many women in Nepal are caught between maintaining their traditional roles and struggling with economic hardship, with very few resources to change their circumstances. Pakistan, agricultural work and gender inequality. In rural Pakistan, women face a harsh dual burden of agricultural and domestic work, compounded by deep-rooted gender inequality. They spend long hours in the fields, growing crops and raising livestock, before returning home to manage household chores like cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Despite their crucial contributions, their work is undervalued, and they are paid less than men for similar tasks. Women in Pakistan are often excluded from decision-making within the family, and their access to education, healthcare, and employment is limited. These barriers make it difficult for them to achieve economic independence or social mobility, while the lack of support from male family members or the community intensifies their already heavy workload. Nigeria, agricultural labor and gender disparity. Nigeria's economy is heavily reliant on agriculture, and women, especially in rural areas, are the backbone of the agricultural labor force. They spend long hours working in the fields, cultivating crops and raising livestock. In addition to farm work, women in Nigeria are also responsible for household tasks such as fetching water, preparing meals, and taking care of their children. Unfortunately, despite their crucial role in the economy, women continue to face significant gender disparities that affect their access to education, healthcare, and professional opportunities. The limited availability of resources in rural areas, combined with a lack of modern farming tools, makes the work even more physically demanding. Women often walk long distances to fetch water or firewood, adding to their already exhausting daily routine. The harsh working conditions, such as extreme heat and inadequate facilities, make it even more challenging for women to manage both their agricultural and domestic responsibilities. Additionally, the lack of support from family members or the community means that women are expected to shoulder the full burden of both the home and the fields without any significant help. This results in a cycle of exhaustion and inequality, as women are expected to contribute to the family and economy, but their work is undervalued and underpaid. Philippines, migrant work and double burden. In the Philippines, women are central to the country's export labor sector, particularly in domestic work and healthcare. Many Filipino women migrate abroad to work as domestic helpers, caregivers, and nurses in countries such as the Middle East, Hong Kong, and the United States. While they contribute significantly to the economy through remittances, these women often face difficult working conditions, long hours, and in some cases, exploitation. Domestic workers in particular are often expected to handle every household chore for their employers, leaving little time for rest or personal life. Meanwhile, women who remain in the Philippines still face a double burden. They are often employed in the service sector or agriculture, where they work long hours for low wages. Simultaneously, they are responsible for managing the household, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of children and elderly relatives. This overwhelming workload, compounded by limited access to resources and social services, leaves many women with little time for self-care or personal development. Whether working abroad or staying at home, Filipino women continue to carry a heavy burden, with their labor often undervalued and undercompensated. China, industrial labor and family expectations. China's rapid economic growth over the past few decades has led to significant changes in its labor market, but women, especially in industrial sectors, still face many challenges. Many women work in factories that produce goods for both local consumption and export, such as electronics, textiles, and clothing. These labor-intensive jobs often come with long hours, low wages, and poor working conditions. Despite this, women are expected to balance their demanding work lives with traditional domestic roles, such as cooking, cleaning, and caring for children and elderly family members. This double burden of industrial labor and family obligations has become a major issue for women in China. The lack of adequate childcare services and social welfare support further exacerbates their stress, making it difficult for them to maintain a work-life balance. Women's contributions to both the economy and their households are vital, yet they often face limited opportunities for advancement in the workplace and struggle with unequal expectations at home. This situation highlights the need for policies that support working women, both in terms of labor rights and social services, to help alleviate the pressures they face. Indonesia, agricultural work and limited opportunities. In Indonesia, a significant portion of the population works in agriculture, particularly in rural areas, where women are expected to handle both agricultural labor and domestic duties. These women spend their days planting, harvesting, and tending to crops or fishing, while also maintaining the household by cooking, cleaning, and caring for children. Women in Indonesia often lack access to modern tools or technology to make their work more efficient, which makes their jobs physically taxing and time-consuming. In addition to their responsibilities at home and on the farm, many women also work in factories, especially in the garment industry, which is a significant sector in Indonesia's economy. Despite the long hours and demanding nature of their work, these women often earn low wages and have limited job security. As a result, many women face a life of perpetual labor, with little opportunity for personal rest or social mobility. The gendered division of labor in Indonesia leaves women with little to no time for themselves, as they must juggle the demands of both the home and the workplace. Cambodia, working in agriculture and factories. In Cambodia, women work long hours in both agriculture and the garment industry, two of the country's most crucial sectors. Rural women typically work in the fields, cultivating crops like rice, while also managing household duties, including cooking, cleaning, and caring for children. In urban areas, many women work in garment factories, which provide employment for a large portion of the population. Despite their extensive labor, women in both sectors face poor working conditions and low wages, with little to no job security or labor rights protections. The lack of government support and social services further compounds the challenges women face in Cambodia. In rural areas, women must deal with inadequate infrastructure, such as poor access to clean water or electricity, which adds to the physical strain of their work. Women working in factories often face unsafe working conditions and have limited opportunities for career advancement. Whether in agriculture or industry, Cambodian women continue to shoulder a disproportionate amount of the labor, with little recognition or protection of their rights. Mali, the heavy burden on women. Mali, one of the poorest countries in the world, sees its women bearing the brunt of both agricultural and domestic labor. In rural Mali, women work on farms, cultivating crops like millet, rice, and cotton, as well as tending to livestock. In addition to farm work, women are also responsible for household chores, such as fetching water, cooking, and caring for children. Due to the lack of modern tools and technology, the physical demands of this labor are immense, and women often have to walk long distances to gather water or firewood. The absence of government support and the scarcity of infrastructure in rural areas further complicate women's lives. Women in Mali are also expected to take on caregiving roles for elderly family members, further intensifying their workload. Despite the critical role they play in sustaining both their families and the economy, women in Mali face significant challenges in terms of access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. This lack of support, combined with the heavy physical labor they perform, leaves many women exhausted and trapped in a cycle of poverty. Haiti, agricultural work and household chores. In Haiti, a country that has faced long-term economic instability and natural disasters, women carry a heavy burden in both agriculture and domestic work. Many rural women work on farms, growing crops such as beans, corn, and rice, both for household consumption and to sell in local markets. Despite the challenging conditions, these women continue to support their families through hard work in the fields. However, they also face the additional responsibility of household chores, such as cooking, cleaning, and caring for children. The lack of basic infrastructure, such as access to clean water and reliable electricity, adds to the difficulties women in Haiti face. Many women must walk long distances to collect water or firewood, further depleting their already limited energy. The economic instability in the country means that women often have no choice but to work relentlessly in both the fields and at home to ensure their family's survival. In the face of poverty and a lack of resources, women in Haiti are left with little opportunity for rest or personal development. Uganda, agricultural work and gender inequality. In Uganda, women are vital to agriculture, growing crops like maize, beans, and cassava, while also managing household chores such as cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Despite their essential roles, women face significant gender inequality, receiving lower wages than men for similar work and having limited access to resources, education, and economic opportunities. The lack of modern tools and clean water makes their labor even more strenuous. As a result, women are overburdened, working both in the fields and at home, with little recognition or support, hindering their empowerment and progress. Women's roles in many countries remain disproportionately hard, with high expectations placed on them both at home and at work. While there have been advances in women's rights in many countries, traditional gender roles still prevail in some areas. Supporting education, economic development, and social change can help ease the burden on women, allowing them to develop better opportunities for themselves and their families. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more stories in the next video. See you soon!